Hello, and welcome to another 1/6 News. Today we got a special guest, Brian Carr. He will come join later. First, I'm just going through some news about announcements and releases this week. But before we go into that, let me just address the chat. We got very early here, Alfie's Game Room. A cool topic. I hope there are more collaborations like this. Maybe another how to do amazing poses for the figures as well. Yeah, I think that would be a great topic too. But I think Brian will tell us more about like photography. I think the magazine that he is doing will cover also some poses and something like that and more. But we will talk with him in more detail later on the show. After he also passed by, he said he's not in known, but we'll catch the replay. Thank you so much. He's a member of the channel and he's always on the live streams. Fabs, my friend, my good friend Fabio. First one here, you were actually the third, but welcome. And Graham, the Jedi Knights watch, go big brother or go home. I know you are watching Man of Steel. You can check the replay of the live stream later. We got here in the house as well my good friend Dante, the man of hot collectibles. All of these men of hot collectibles, Fab speakers, the Jedi Knights watch, they all have their YouTube channels. I think you should subscribe them, but I'm sure most of you already have. John Adelic also in the house. How are you, my friend? Ekwan also here. How are you? Pablo Meza. How are you, Pablo? Hope everything is good with you. Funky Cold Santa, also a member of the channel. How are you? Hope you are all having a great week. I'm checking here, the audio is messed up. I'm not sure because my connection is not the best, but I will try to fix that up. Right here, if you check if it's still the same, let me know, because I changed my internet provider and I'm not sure if it's fixed by now or no. Let me just click here because I depend on VPN for this. We want John Lander. KG Smith, how are you? Conquer Knight, also in the house. Did you read about the Mondo Joker in Batman animated series? I didn't heard about that. Yeah, I think I'm lagging because I can see the connection here on StreamYard is not the best. But let me know if now it's solved or it's still the same, because I really cannot know. I'm not seeing my own stream. John Lander, yeah, I have some news about that from So Toys. No, the stream actually is in 720p, but I think if I share the screen, it will lower the resolution of my screen. Maybe then the connection will be better. Let me check. If I do the screen sharing, I think now will be better. But let's go just through these fast, because I don't want to let Brian wait for too long. I know all of you already heard in, I think, multiple streams about the showcases from Hot Toys. We got a lot of figures coming out. I think everyone is happy about this. There's something for everyone, just not DC. For you guys that want something more about Batman, maybe we'll need to wait after this summer showcase. But yeah, I think Boba Fett, it's been a trend in Facebook during the whole week about buying from Hong Kong, about getting from Sideshow, about the wait list and so on. Seems wait list is opened again, so you guys have chance to get the Boba Fett if you want to. But yeah, ObiWan Kenobi, I think most of us are excited about this one. Not much about, the head sculpt, I don't think is really the best one. But I'm confident that, as we've seen lately from Hot Toys, they always improve the head sculpts. And lately, I think their work on head sculpts is much better than it was before. So I'm confident we will see an improvement on this head sculpt. I don't like much the head sculpt. And I will wait. I'm not going to pre-order just now. I will wait to see if there is any updates from JC Hong. Probably we'll do an update on Instagram or something like that. We got as well here the Obi-Wan. I think this is DX26. There's a special edition bonus that is a DX26B. I haven't checked well about the prices. I think here in Hong Kong, I mean, if you pay $2, is around 245, something like that. I think the price is okay. It's not bad. I just think the DX from Hot Toys now, this DX line is a bit confusing. Anything that has rolling eyes is already a DX. I can appreciate that they did that diorama base, but yeah, it's a DX release. For everyone waiting for Spider-Man, you already got Andrew. Of course, I don't know if they are doing the same suit as they did before. I didn't own their first release, but here it is. They branded it as Amazing Spider-Man 2. Probably they don't have the license for No Way Home. But yeah, I think the head sculpt looks good. It's a very simple release with only those spider webs, a bunch of hands, and the display base. But everyone was waiting for these guys. So now we already saw Toby as well yesterday in some photos on the summer showcase. So you will get the 3 Spider-Mans for your collection, which is amazing. I will get this one, but wait for stock. We got 2, of course, these the display base, the lizard one. This one, I mean, we thought they would make a figure. They didn't do it. They did this as a diorama display base. This is branded as No Way Home, and I think it will look cool if you have the space. I think this will take a huge space on the display. If you have the space, go for it. The one I'm impressed the most is with Wolverine. I really want this one, 1973 version from the Days of Future Past. I think looks really good, and the price is good. 270 is the price here for the deluxe version that comes with that the display base. The seamless arms, everything, I think look very good with this release. I love the head sculpt, and this is one I will surely pick up. Genuine leather jacket. I think it's amazing. We got as well a sneak peek of the N1 Starfighter. Everyone is asking Hot Toys, like, do you dare to do it? But honestly, which one of you would get this beast in your collection room? You are talking about 1.8 meters of length. This is a huge piece. This is basically my height. I could not have this in my collection room, and I think I would say 95% of collectors could not do not have space for this piece. So Hot Toys will never do this. Maybe they will sell 20 pieces. Production-wise, business-wise, it's not even a thing to consider. I don't think they will ever think about doing a piece like this. It's really huge. You remember that Hot Toys is not like Jazz Inc. That is a small company. Hot Toys is a big company. It's a company that think about big projects, and they need to have approach to a very big markets, mass markets, and this is not a product that is intended for a mass market distribution. Man of October saying just announce it. I will feel very surprised, because can you imagine the box, the package of these? If it is 1.8 meters, this would be a huge box, and I don't even know what would be the price. Okay, passing to other stuff, because I know Hot Toys, you have 350 streams talking about this. Damn Toys, the Resident Evil 2, the classic version, they updated for everyone that is pre-ordering. They are sending a spare legs with a fixed knee. That will look much better. You see here the 2 options that you will have. If you pre-order this figure, they will send you 2 kinds of legs. One with a seamless legs with a fixed knee. That will look much better. And if you want to do some posing, you can choose the other leg. I really appreciate them Toys doing this, because I think it looks good, and it's good for a company to do this kind of updates. Damn Toys have been doing an amazing work from Godfather and so on. Local Lou in the house, how are you? You are saying that my microphone is sounding crazy. I also don't know what's happening today with the stream. I'm seeing my connection keeps dropping. So if you guys think that it's really horrible, let me know, and I really I maybe must stop the stream, because I cannot do anything more about the connection. Dumb Toys, they did release other Resident Evil 2. This is other outfit, other Claire Redfield. This one is not the classic version. So this one comes with a lot of stuff. I was checking today. You have different options for you to pose with her, and I think it looks good. The price is at $295 or $292. Is about the same price that they do with the other figures. Yeah, this Resident Evil, this one looks good, but Damn Toys, the price, yeah, it's a bit expensive. $293, as I was checking today at 1/6 kit with free shipping. But yeah, Damn Toys. Even last time, I remember the Godfather. How much I paid for that? I think it was something like $250 or something like that. And I thought, yes, this is licensed. Damn Toys, the Resident Evil line, it's all licensed. With that, you will not have any problem. Everything is completely licensed with Damn Toys. I'm just trying here to do something to check the internet becomes better, but I think it's a bit of a struggle that I'm having here today. But yeah, you got different outfits. You got a bunch of weapons with this release. I think looks really good, and you can consider it. Then we got yesterday announcement from JF Studios, the new fan. This is of course Harry Osborn from the Amazing Spider-Man. It was played by Dane DeHaan. I think it looks okay. I was doing some comparison photos between the figure and the actor himself. I mean, you can see the resemblance there. It's not perfect, but considering that this is a third party, this will always be a background character for your collection. I don't think it looks horrible. Comparing the real photos and the prototype, I think it's passable as a background character for your display. The glasses are a bit different. The hair seems okay, it's sculpted. The face seems a bit skinny. I don't know. I don't think that sculpt looks horrible. I think it looks okay. I think it actually looks okay. But it's priced very low. This comes at $155. Head sculpt, the body has got 7 ends. You got the suit, the ends. The only thing it comes with a pocket watch and the glasses. The accessory is very poor on accessories, but I think it's okay for $155 releasing in the last quarter of this year. My portfolio the same looks like McLovin. You are not wrong. You are not wrong. And Doc Smith is saying he wanted for the suit. And then what will you use as head sculpt? You are going to do a custom one, or what are you going to do? And Mega Video Power saying need a Darth Vader open helmet figure to go with it. But yeah, the JF Studios 155. We got as well announcement from Infamous Evil, which is of course Carr. I haven't watched yet the new movie, the Love and Thunder. I think this is directly from there. I don't know about the quality of this, because Infamous, they did Prosper Midnight, they did Ebony Maw. They were all a bit clunky, not the best quality. I really don't know how are they going to do this body. It's quite a challenging figure to do, and for a third party to do with this, I'm really not sure. It says here that is approximately 38 centimeters tall. I think it should be a bit taller. I remember he appeared in Endgame when Thor is having those beers in that house. But the price of this $279, releasing by the end of this year, I don't know. I will get it for review for sure, but $279 for this third party from Infamous, I think you need to consider very well about this. Mandalorian interest in the house. How are you, my friend? Good evening for you. For me, it's good morning. Any updates on Dark? I don't have any updates. Cool Obsidian. Cool Obsidian, I think, is delayed. Last time I heard, they said maybe around August or September, something like that. I'm really not sure, but I heard something about this. Louis Libitz in the house. How are you, my friend? And Tuli in the house as well. How are you? Welcome, welcome. But yeah, you got this the Cork from Infamous 279. I think it's a bit high priced, to be honest. Then we got this one from Toys, the Civet Girl. Of course, this Catwoman from the new Batman movie, but I don't know. Sometimes these third parties they do these announcements and they show these prototypes that I don't know if anyone really wants these. I think the head sculpt is not good. The suit looks very baggy. This, of course, is most probably is a pleather suit or plastic suit, and I don't know. Looks very cheap. It's a very cheap figure. It doesn't look good at all. Um, you can see here a side by side comparison with Zoe Kravitz and the one from Art Toys. First, the skin is too white. I don't know why they went with the white skin, but yeah, I really don't think this looks good at all. Even if you use this kind of mask, it doesn't resemble anything. Even for I don't think even the suit could be saved from this release. And it comes at 150. They do these. They do emphasize that they give you a seamless body, but yeah, the seamless body doesn't do anything because it's completely. Even for the posing, if you have a bad head sculpt, if the suit is not that good, the seamless body cannot do anything for you. Even at 150, I think this figure it's honestly not worth it. To be very honestly, Ekwan saying this one is a paper bag over the head. Yeah, it's about that. And Mandalorian answers asking no Benta songs, right? I do not have the Benta songs. That's all exclusive from Man of Hot Collectibles. Depending on the material, I think it's passable. Eddie Rodriguez. I don't know. They don't mention the material. There is no animation about the material. This is one, of course, I'm going to review. I'm going to get it and review and then check how it looks like. So my opinion is wait for seeing a review or unboxing Ninen's photos, and then we can talk better about this. We got as well from Pop Toys the Scorpion from the last Mortal Kombat movie. And let me tell you, if you like me, I didn't think this movie was the best, but I'm telling you that Pop Toys, they do amazing figures. Pop Toys, the quality, it's for me above average when we are talking about third parties. And I think it looks really good. One advantage that Pop Toys does have is that they already did this character because the guy playing the Scorpion is Hiroyuki Sanada, something like that, a Japanese name. They already did several of his head sculpts. They already have his head sculpt done. This one here in the photo was from a review I made from the last Samurai figures that Pop Toys did before. You can check the review in my channel. So I think they can nail this one pretty well. Even you can only see the eyes, but I think they can nail this head sculpt. And Pop Toys, they really do very good quality. It comes at the price at $238. But again, you got a full head sculpt. Actually, with it, you got a lot of stuff, and their quality is good. And I'm getting this one for sure because I want to check how will they do this Scorpion. I really like Mortal Kombat. I played the games before in the day, and I want to check out this one. Pablo, I just addressing your question. Did you get the punchline from Toys for review? I see 160. Not yet 160. Not yet, because the punchline I already paid for it. I was pushing because I already did a local store, and they told me they will only receive the stock by next Monday. So I will only have it next Tuesday. So normally that local store they are the first ones to receive it. So I'm sure that everyone will only receive by next week. That one I know is releasing next week. Man of Hot Collect's been saying a lot of detail going exactly. Pop Toys, they do a very good quality. Local Lou is also getting this one. I'm going to. And Mandalorian, I'm just saying, let me check here. 1995 Mortal Kombat movie is the best. Yeah, that one was better than this last one. Eddie Rodriguez. This is really good though. Is good. Pop Toys, I can tell you, they are good with the quality and the figures, with the material they use, the head sculpts. They really don't play with this. But the price is a bit higher, is true. But I think it will be completely worth it. That guy that plays Scorpion is every role that needs a Japanese actor. He's in everything. It's true. He played a lot of movies already. Even the one I remember most is The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. Is the Harpoon Wired. I cannot be sure, but I West Sword here. They don't mention it, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is, but it would be very cool. But anyway, I'm sure that Bob Dylan, I'm sure that you have such amazing ability to kit bash accessories. I'm sure you can do a wiring system for the Harpoon. Truly saying, yeah, this figure looks pretty dope. There are some good third-party figures out there. I've just been really reluctant to pull the trigger. Indeed, with Pop Toys, I can tell you that you will not go wrong. Wasted many quarters on Mortal Kombat back in the day. Oh, you can bet. It's true. On the arcade machines. Mandalorian Huntress Sub-Zero coming, probably. Let's see. But yeah, I think this is very good. P-Rock in the house, how are you, my friend? Looks pretty good. Too bad the movie wasn't as good. It was not good, but I think it was at least entertaining. In my opinion, it was at least entertaining. The actor was also in the Wolverine and Infinity War. I mean, this guy is everywhere. He's always asked to do many roles. We got as well from Dopo, and I want you to pay attention to this, because if you didn't got the Hot Toys version, if you are waiting or you are expecting, for example, Inar to do this one, I think you should consider this one from Dopo. Basically, this is a bank robber suit. It comes with all the suit, not head sculpt. It comes like you are seeing here in this photo. But I can tell you that the Topo, their tailoring is one of the best at this moment for 1/6 scale figures. It's really good. If any of you have the main Joker, they did the costume dress. Everyone's opinion is one of the best out there. And this one, I have people that already hold it in hands, already play with it, and they say this one, the material they use is really good and fits amazing. You can see here the detail of the shoes. The ends, even here, the gloved ends are not the normal ones that we get with every third-party figure. They all do the same gloved ends. These ones have much more detailed on it. This one was actually announced this week and is going to be released end of this month. This is a very fast release. It comes at $142 or $152, something like that. Yeah, this one will look really good. And I think if you don't have a bank robber Joker, you should completely consider this one. This can be called a third party, but there is no head sculpt. It's just basically a suit. You can even use these for your Hot Toys one, and use this one to replace the Hot Toys one, because many people have the shirt already stained. I think it's a good option. We got as well from Dopo a set from Leon the Professional. The movie was from '94, I believe. I watched this movie one or twice, but I think this one looks really good. I think this one, I'm checking the price. The price for this one, I think it's $142 as well. I think it's the same price. It's $142, but this set looks really good. You can here see everything that you got. This one doesn't come with a head sculpt. You need to get a custom head sculpt with this release, but I think they are going to nail it very well. This figure was already done by DJ Custom, and there was other company that did it before, I think a custom artist, but those of course are very high price. And I think Topo are going to do a pretty nice job with this one. It's coming out, releasing also end of this month. So pay attention to it. They are both the bank robber and this one. They are both at 1/6 kit, and I think they are both $142 for this set. The I'm laughing because I'm seeing here this comment from Doc Smizzle saying I could use the sock. It's quite interesting. These clothes look professional, yeah. But the tailoring is really good, Tremble Dust. This tailoring from Topo is really good. And not surprisingly, yesterday I saw that Present Toys is announcing this figure as well. So it's a coincidence that Topo is making a suit and then Present Toys after one day is announcing the full figure. I don't think it's a coincidence. Probably they are going through the same production. It's exactly the same thing, and they're just using the same stuff. And Present Toys just add the head sculpt. There is no price one for these Present Toys. There is no any price yet. I just saw these are yesterday on Chinese forums. P Rock is saying it comes with the cactus. Yes, this one I think it really comes with it. Let me check. I think it really comes with the cactus. Oh, it does, but it's not a cactus. This is just a normal plant. This figure is good, but I mean, it depends on the price, because if you are paying $142 for the Topo set, I don't know how much this one are going to be. Let's say if Present Toys will charge you $170, $180, you are paying the difference for a head sculpt and for like display base, the guns, and the rest of the accessories. Ed is saying, I remember watching this movie as a kid. I actually watched this movie later than it screened. I know it is from 1994, something like that. I think I watched it in early 2000s. I didn't watch when it was released. But that's all for announcements. You think I'm running here because I want to get Brian here earlier so you guys can catch up also with him and ask anything you want to ask him. We got releases this week. This one, the Tom Shelby from Tien Hong Toys, the Peaky Blinders. It was released already. I didn't pre-order this one, and when I saw these photos, someone was sharing these photos this week. I mean, there's a going trend that normally the first photos we see from the first collectors here in China, that when stuff go out, they all look very bad photos. I don't know why. And then when you got it in end, it always looks a bit better. So I cannot be sure about how this looks like. I haven't got it, and when I was to get it in stock and I was checking the local stores here, the price is very high for a third-party release. This is more than $200, and this is not the figure that I really need or I want in my collection. I even haven't watched Peak Blinder, the show. So I don't know if you guys are considering this. Maybe wait for someone overseas to receive it, and then you can judge how it looks like. Let me just address here one comment from Doc Smizzle and then go through two super chats. Doc Smizzle asking, really quick, any updates on Buzz Toys White Wolf? Yeah, there was updates. It's delayed for I would say September, October. The person that is taking care of this production, Buzz Toys, he had some health issues, and they are delaying this figure for, I would say, September, October, but I would not be surprised if it would delay for maybe November or something like that. That's the only update I heard about this. Let me just address here Eddie Rodriguez with the super chat. Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot. Thank you really very much. And we got as well a super chat from my friend Bob Dylan. Tiansu Studios Arkham Batman Armory Vault. Yeah, I didn't took this one today because I couldn't find much more details about these Tiansu Studios. because I heard some people saying that maybe will never come out or something like that. So I need to confirm. I was to ask Kit Chen about this, and then I completely forgot. Yeah, but that's about it. About that White Wolf. We need to wait. I'm really expecting that one too. We got as well Stranger Things 11 released from 3.0. I wanted to get this figure, but there's a catch here. 3.0 doesn't have the license to sell in China these figures. So there was no way I could get this figure locally, and I cannot find it in stock anywhere. I want to get this figure really bad, but I cannot find it in stock. China doesn't have license for this, so the local stores do not have this figure. I really wanted this to review. From the photos they were shared on Facebook, some people were criticizing that sculpt. I don't think it's the worst. I think it's okay, passable. This from the first season, of course, when 11 is still very young. But I would like to have this for review. I will check if I still can get it. But yeah, if any of you are getting this figure, let me know. Then I will want to see some more photos, because the photos we have now, it's only this. They said that the body is a bit taller, need to be changed body. We got as well released this Popeye. I was even not following this one. There are so many third parties. I was not even following this release. I don't think is this from the movie, because I remember there was a movie a long time ago, a Popeye movie. I mean, it resembles Popeye. I think it's a quite funny release. I don't know how many of you are even familiar with Popeye. I am, because I'm from the 80s. I'm an old guy, but for new generations, I don't think they are even familiar with this Popeye. But it's very interesting head sculpt with the high clothes. Don't try and make different ones. This Bob Dylan is true. Looks Man of Hot Collectible saying looks like P-Rock after 2 drinks. Oh, Dale, this is. I don't know if this resembles Robin Williams just paired with his Woody figure for Nightmare Full. Exactly. You can pose your Popeye with Robin Williams, with Woody, the one I reviewed. This looks like an attempt at movie Popeye. Okay, so that's that. Finally, we only have, what do I have more here? Okay, the Punchline releasing next week, as I already was talking earlier on. And for everyone that is expecting Homelander is not going to release this month, and I'm not sure if we will see him even next month. I did ask around my sources, and there's no way he's going out this month. Probably next month, if we are lucky. Anyway, that's all for announcements and for releases for this week. I want to bring now to the stream the person that you are all expecting, Brian Carr. How are you, my friend? Good evening. It's evening over there.
Getting close to the evening, yeah.
Okay, amazing. So welcome to the stream. I'm really very excited to have you here, because I've been following the updates about the magazine and so on. So would you like to tell us something about the magazine, to introduce the magazine? And you can introduce yourself as well. Maybe everyone knows you about your amazing photo, but you can give some introduction about yourself and talk a bit about how you got this idea for the magazine.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm Brian Carr. I've been doing photography, I'll say probably a little over, has been like maybe close to 10 years now. I started out kind of doing it as a hobby. And then I started doing like maybe like the little 6-inch toys and stuff like that. Actually, my first toys I started taking pictures of was the Soda Toys Street Fighter figures.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I started doing that, and oh, hey D. So I started doing that, and then I progressed to the Hot Toys figures, and I started taking pictures with my phone, mainly because sometimes you look at the product photos that Hot Toys puts out, and then
Hmm.
when you actually get the toys in hand, you're like, wow, this doesn't look the same. It's like
Exactly.
the quality is, it just seems a little more lifelike when you see it. Um, so I literally went out and got myself a better camera and started taking the pictures, and that's kind of where I am now. What led to the magazine was I don't know. Based off of other people that I've talked to, it's been a little bit of a struggle uh, just to get noticed, to get other people to just see your photography, and especially the way things are going now with Instagram. It's now even harder for photographers to get noticed.
Quick notice.
And so literally I was just going over the idea of like what can be done, to for myself to get noticed. And then I ended up having a interview with someone named me as a photographer of the month.
Of the month, yes. I
And
saw
so
that
I did,
article. Amazing.
yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that's how the name came about, because the person was interviewing me, and they said, they were trying to think of just a unique name for what I do, and they was like, well, since you take pictures of toys and it's photography, it was like the name that comes to mind is Toytography. And then she said, so I would consider you to be a toytographer. And so I was like, wow, I was like, that's actually a really good name.
It
And
is.
yeah, and so the more I thought about it, I was like, well, there's other people out there who take pictures of toys as well. So I'm just like, they would be considered toytographers as well. And so that's when I was like, okay, that's when the idea of the magazine came about. So the whole purpose of the magazine is to bring more exposure to toy photography in general, but also to bring basically the other people who are in the same boat as I am trying to get noticed. The magazine will provide that opportunity. It's like it'll literally give you a chance to, um, you know, put your work out there, because we're gonna, in addition to, having certain articles in the magazine, there will also be places for other toy photographers to be able to submit their photos as well to go into the magazine, so other people can see it too.
We got here some people. Stacy saying congrats, Brian.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
Bob Dylan, I'm sure you also know him. He's
Yes.
very excited for you. And Man of Hot Collectibles is also saying that he would love you to have you on
Oh,
his show. I think
absolutely, absolutely,
Brian
totally open to
will.
that.
Okay, Brian. Just before we start, if because some people will watch this and will ask, where can we know more about this magazine? Is there a website, right?
Well, we're in right now. We're still building the website.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, the best place to get all the information is to go to the Toytography Facebook group. Um,
Okay.
you can you can go to the site. Like I'm using my personal website right now, which is bcarphotos.com, and there you can,
bcarphotos.com.
yes, you can go there and you can subscribe and basically just get on our list. And then from there, we'll send you emails directly as far as, any kind of updates and things like that. But I got to say, based off of the things that have been taking place, I get so excited about some of the stuff, and I literally just posted right on the Facebook group. so, so as of right now, that's like the best place to get all the information.
Yeah, Bob Dylan with a super chat. Thanks so much, Bob. He's already put on the
Oh,
comments
yes.
the magazine group, so everyone can go in and join the group. So it's the best way in this moment to know more about the development and how the magazine is going. Brian, I want to ask you a question because I have talked with some friends about this magazine. People are interested, but would you say, for example, for collectors that they are not much into photography but want to learn, will the magazine be a good source for them?
Yes, because what we will do is, I mean, one of the main things is we will have articles that will feature other toy photographers who are lending their advice. But in addition to that, we will have separate sections in the magazines that will actually give you tips on what to do with your photos. So there will be tips about lighting. There'll be tips about different accessories that you can use. There will be tips about, how to scout locations, so if you want to go outdoors and be able to, find places to make the toys, in more realistic settings and things like that. All of those will be available in the magazine as well. So the whole point is to inspire other people to want to take photos. But even the people who are just starting out, it'll also be a guide as far as help on how to get started.
Amazing, because there's much more into photography than we think. It's not only catch a camera and shoot. There are
Yes,
so many variables. There are
yes,
so many things you need to learn, and because this is have a stepping curve, right? It is not only I have this DSLR of $3,000 and I can shoot
right.
the best photos. There are I see people doing photos even with their phones that they look amazing. There
Actually,
are so
that
many
is
things you can
that's
do.
how I got started. I started out using my phone with just getting the best angles that I could. And really, I as I was using my phone, I was learning that sometimes if you just have the your lights in the right place,
Mhm.
or just instead of looking down on the toy, you actually get down at its level and take pictures that way. It makes a huge difference. And sometimes, I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're using a DSLR camera or you're using your phone, because honestly, a lot of the cameras that are in phones now are really top quality. So you can pretty much start with that. There is a difference, that well, I would say a noticeable difference between your phone as opposed to a more professional camera. But at the same time, you can still get really good photos with just your phone.
With just the phone, as long as you adjust lighting, and there are so many things. Because I know there is a photo from you that I keep seeing. That photo is a photo that you did. I think is Obi-Wan.
Oh, yes,
That is in Tatooine, right? That you can see
yes.
a stormtrooper in the back. And I say, that looks like a still from
Right.
a TV show or from the movie. And I say, well, okay, how can this be possible?
Yes,
Uh,
lately that was my most talked about photo.
that photo is it's really amazing. I think you need to be a bit gifted to have this kind of idea, because there are so many things going around there. Carlito here is saying the campfire is my favorite
Oh,
picture.
yes.
Uh,
Yes, the campfire that was another one. That's another thing. There's so many things that you can find online that gives like just little effects to
mhm.
just add to the photo and just make it look more realistic. So I have shelves of like props and stuff I could use along with
Yeah,
that.
you need to use a lot of props for these kind of photos, right?
Yes.
I
But
would
I
imagine.
can say that there are some pictures that I can show you that I took a few years back, and you'd probably wonder, like, you took that photo because that looks terrible.
I was talking about this one because I
Oh,
think
yes, yes, yes,
this one looks really really amazing.
yes.
Uh,
And really, I took that photo. Really, it was like a spur of the moment. I got up early in the morning, and the sun was just coming up, and so I was like, wow, I know the lighting is like really good, and so I there's like a little garden area that's right
Hmm.
outside of where I am, and so literally I had, and in fact, okay, so I'll share a little secret here. Uh, right behind his foot that's stepping forward, I actually have like a little stand that's holding him
Okay.
up. And so I just kind of brushed some sand over it so you couldn't see it. But just little tricks like that, to add to it.
Now, but this photo, it's I wouldn't say it's a photo. It like looks like a still from a
All right.
screenshot from a movie.
Yes.
It's really amazing. It's really amazing.
Thank you.
So
And, I have to say
what?
the other
Mhm.
thing when it comes to that photo, I was really excited about taking that photo because I was one of the people who purchased the Obi-Wan figure with the new body so that you couldn't do
Okay.
the double jointed. And so what happened was I purchased a body from the Gambit figure that Sideshow released that had the double jointed elbows. So I bought that, changed the clothes, and it looked perfect. I was like, okay, I got to see if I can really do some dynamic poses with this. So that was literally a few days after I got that body.
Yeah, I talked before, and I don't know if it happens with you the same with some photographers that sometimes you really need to trick a bit with the clothing by using some tape, some blue tack. Uh, it's not just out of the box that it can look like the photos. You really need to think a little out of the box and with some wiring on the capes, with some tape, with some blue tack. There's a lot of things you can use. Um, this kind of tips is something that you are going to also to use in some segments of the magazine. For example, when you show a photo and you will go into detail what, for example, you invite some photographers, right? They will
Oh yeah.
introduce a photo. Will they explain the details, or they want to hide that for their own? Because you are giving out the secrets, right?
Right.
uh,
Well, it's the thing. I noticed that I would say when you learn certain tricks, a lot of times I've shared some of the things that I've done with my photos, and I gotta say the majority of the time that I share my tips, it's usually because someone had a different idea and just didn't know how to do it. And so when they ended up getting their photos, they ended up, taking that same trick and trying something else. And I'm just like, wow, I mean, you definitely do it to make their own. As a matter of fact, I'll give an example. Someone that I saw on Instagram, they took a photo of the Mandalorian walking into a cantina and seeing Waldo.
mhm.
And they did it with like a little 6-inch figure, and I actually have the 12-inch version of Waldo, and I have the Hot Toys Mandalorian. So I wanted to basically create that same scene. So it wasn't necessarily a direct copy. I just kind of changed some things to make it my own, and so yeah, it ended up coming out a different image. So it's almost like if you copy someone else, it's like one of the biggest compliments. It's like you want to
Yes,
do what they're doing. So
I
so
would say
yeah, it's
so.
totally worth it.
That Waldo is the Blitzway, right? I think it's from
Yes,
Blitzway.
yes.
Okay. Bob Dylan here with a super chat. Thanks, Bob. Asking, is it true the Iron Scavenger photo on Jazz Inc. site was taken by you?
There, I believe there are at least two photos that are, yeah, they're passed around on Jazz Inc. I had I as soon as I got the figure, I took a couple of pictures and then I sent it directly to Juice and said, dude, I said, this, this is a great figure. And I said, this is what I was able to, get a couple of pictures of. And immediately he was like, dude, these are great photos. And he said, can I share them? And I was like, absolutely. You can, send them wherever you like. So yeah.
Oh, amazing. Um, but let's talk a bit more about the magazine because
Okay.
I also think it's important for people to know. This will be like a monthly magazine, or what is the schedule you are thinking about the magazine?
So as of right now, and actually, we did some talks about it, and It's actually going to be just a quarterly magazine.
Quarterly? Okay.
Yeah, so we'll basically just have 4 issues a year, and so it's actually the timing is really good because I made the announcement at I believe the 1st of July, and so we're expecting to have the first issue available by September.
Okay. September. So we have 2 months or more, right?
Yes, yes.
And the magazine will be, I think it's digital, right? It will be all digital. Or are you
For right
thinking?
now, yes, the very first issue will be a digital copy. We did look into some other areas to see about getting physical copies. So we do have a source that we are looking into now to get physical copies. But right now, it's just digital.
And for the first issue, is there anything that you can share with us? What can we expect for the first issue?
Yes, actually,
Any
I
reveals?
have quite a bit I was able to share with you guys because I mean literally for like the past week or so, I've been going over everything to get everything in order. So I can say that as of right now, we do have a price for the magazine. So the cost of the magazine is $15, and so it's that's we figured like that would be the most affordable price for everyone and be able to have quite a bit of content in it. I was also I'll reveal to you the featured toy photographer that we have in this issue will be Jared Middleton, which I believe he goes by Sir Dork.
Okay,
Uh, so we had a really good
amazing.
talk with him, and he totally agreed to be in our first issue. So he will be our first featured toytographer. And actually, we're going to start taking pre-orders for the issue. It'll probably be soon. We're going to try and get it to probably by later tonight or tomorrow. We'll have the thing ready so people can start doing pre-orders. Also, so the people who signed up right from the beginning and they were in the group, recently I gave them the opportunity to pick the front cover for the magazine. So the nice thing we did, just as a special treat for this first issue, is instead of one cover, you're going to have four. So you actually get to choose which
The cover
cover
you
you
want.
want to have. Which, by the way, I did as kind of like a thank you to Jews from Jazz Inc. I actually have a special front cover with it's going to have the Iron Scavenger right there on the front.
That's
So
one
they'll be
option,
able
right?
to, as of right now, you can go to actually it should be probably like in I say probably like later this evening. The you can still go to B Car Photos, and when you go there, it'll be live. The page will be live, and you'll be able to see all 4 issues, and you'll be able to select which one you want, and you can purchase a or pre-order the issue right then. It'll have all the information where you can be able to do that. Also, another thing I want to announce is that starting tomorrow, we're going to start taking submissions for photos to go into the magazine. So
Oh,
people who do their toy photography, who have some photos that they have a photo that they want to share in the first issue, we're going to make that available to where they can submit a photo, and it's going to go into the issue. The only thing I will say though is the ones that are allowed to submit the photos are the ones who have pre-ordered an issue. Okay,
okay,
because
okay.
the,
Of
the
course,
the
and
way we have
that
it set
makes
up
total
is
sense.
yeah. So the people who are able to uh, submit a photo, they have to at least pre-order the issue because what we're going to do is we're going to check the email of the subscriber and then be able to contact them and say okay, because they can share their photo on in the Facebook group of the image that they're going to submit to the magazine. But once we select them to go into the magazine, we need that email so we can be able to contact them and say, okay, we're gonna, we need the high resolution version of that photo to go into the magazine. So they'll
Uh,
have opportunities to do that.
Here, this first edition that you are showing here, this is already the cover that we are going to have in the first edition, or this is just a mock-up. I mean, the titles here, the tips and tricks to improve your toys, photos, and so on.
Oh
This will
yes,
be
actually
already.
we do have the issue. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can send this to you now. You can at least show them one of the issues that they'll be able to see. And this will be one of the actual issues that that they can select.
You can send me on Messenger, and I can share here
Yes,
in the screen.
it should be coming to you momentarily. That way they can see the issue. So that'll be one of the 4 issues that they can choose. Um, so when they get ready to pre-order. So
Wow.
when they just a note, when they choose the issue that they want, when they're sending their payment, when they send in the note section of that payment, just let us know, the issue that they want to use, and also their email address, so that when the issue is ready, we'll be able to send them to the correct email address.
Yeah, Eddie Rodriguez saying you love this figure. This is the Cyclops from Sideshow, right? This is
Yes.
a Sideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I grew up watching that show, so I'm glad I got a hold of him. But I was like trying to see if I could just take the most realistic possible picture of this figure, because I know a lot of sideshow figures, sometimes they don't look too
Yeah.
realistic. So so it was like, okay, it's sometimes it's just a little bit of adjust of the light.
Uh, so this I was check. I'm just waiting here because I need to send the photo from my
Okay.
phone to the computer. Um, Let me see here, because there are different titles on the one you sent me just now. So these tips and tricks to improve your toy photos. This will always be a segment in every issue of the magazine, right? You will always share some
Yes.
tips.
Yes. There, and as a matter of fact, that's one of the other things to note. So Um, the magazine, like I said, will be quarterly, but we're literally in the process of making our website right now. So we're going to basically, the way we're going to handle it is we're going to speak on a particular topic in the magazine. Then we will elaborate on that topic on the website. So they'll
Okay.
have the opportunity to, get more detail about it, or if they're in the Facebook group and they're saying, "Hey, I was reading this article, and I would like to know more about this particular topic. So, can you elaborate more?" So we'll be able to do that, and expound a little more on that particular topic until to the next issue.
So this is the other cover you sent to me. This is already a mock-up for really the first issue, right?
Yes,
Already with the logo,
this is how
photography
the one
logo,
of the issues is going to look. Yes.
props on a budget, accessories that don't break the bank, casting shadows, a unique perspective on a lighting tip, and exactly Sir Dork. This
Yes.
is the toytographer
Yes.
of the first of this first issue. Can you share? Because people sometimes want to know around how many pages will have a magazine.
Well, that's the other thing we're working on now. The goal is to have anywhere between 30 to 50 pages. That's going to include, the articles about the different tips, our featured toytographer, and then as of right now, we're working on it right now, but we're working to get 4 dedicated pages to nothing but photos that people have submitted. So it'll be kind of like an artist wall of different photos that people submitted. So it's really going to depend upon how long the articles are, and then we'll be able to gauge from there how many pages this is going to be.
And the persons behind the magazine, it's you. You are
Yes,
the
as of right
editor,
now,
right?
I'm the one writing the articles. So
Okay,
I do have
amazing.
a couple other people who are that I'm talking to now that are going to be helping with the articles. But as of right now, I'm writing an article about the lighting tips. There's also going to be another article that's going to talk about posing, specifically posing. And as far as because I'll just say a little bit about me. I honestly don't know. I pretty much know next to nothing about Photoshop now. So a lot of my photos are just me posing the figure in a certain way so that you don't see the pole that's holding him, or literally I will spend who knows how long just to get the figure to balance on on 1 foot or something like that, because to me I just like being able to take the photo and upload it as soon as I can. There's a lot of times where I'll take a picture, and because my camera has a built-in Wi-Fi, I take the picture, send it to my phone, and I upload it right away without any editing at all.
So usually you don't edit much the photos you take.
No, I would say the majority of the photos that I take, they are not edited.
Wow, that's amazing. I would think there's a lot of uh, Photoshop, Lightroom going
Oh,
after on these
it's a
photos.
lot. I use a lot of practical effects and everything. As a matter of fact, the photo that you like of the Star Wars one, there was no editing at all in that photo. That the lighting just happened to be good that day, and I literally just uploaded it as is.
I think that just make things much more difficult
Yeah,
because
that's true.
because normally you will see the photos and there are many tutorials on YouTube because you see they are using props and so many things. They shoot the photo, but then there's a long process of editing on Photoshop to add flames, to
Yes.
add fire, to add special effects and so on. And by the end, you will see a huge, amazing photo. But you are taking photos without any editing. That I think that's really only a gift that
Yeah.
you have.
Well, believe me, it's a whole lot of trial and error. It's a lot of trial and because there's a lot of times I will take shots and I will look at it on my phone, and then when I transfer it to my computer, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't I messed up on that part, and a lot of times I'll just go back and take the photo again. I don't. It's like, oh, I'll just fix it, just edit it out. I'm like, no, no, no. I'll just go back and just do it. I still had the figure set up. I'll just take the picture again.
Yeah, it's like a comment from Peanut Butter Warrior is saying it's very impressive that you don't use Lightroom but get the
Oh,
pictures
thank
to
you.
look that nice. Yeah, exactly. It's true because uh, we would think that photographers will always use some software to editing the photos. Um, and Brian, Jill Jones here is saying, Brian, you are just amazing with your photos.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I think because most of collectors already know you from the Facebook groups because you always share so good photos. So
Yes.
Eddie Rodriguez here is actually asking why don't you experiment with lighting? I think you do so, right? You
Oh, actually,
experiment a lot.
I do. Lighting is a huge part of my photos. I actually have two particular lights that I use. They're called Aperture MC. They're LED lights, and they are absolutely amazing lights because what I do is when I'm aiming them, sometimes I want to change the colors, and it gives me the ability to change those colors with the lights. But the nice thing about it is I can actually hook those lights up to my phone, and whatever color I aim my phone at, the light will then match that color. So it's I absolutely love those lights. So whenever it comes to any kind of stuff like that, I just make sure that I have a proper setup before I take my photo, and then that just literally ends all right there.
Peanut Butter Warrior is saying I definitely use plenty of
Oh yeah,
Lightroom. Yeah,
yeah.
I
That's the
think we
thing.
all do.
I mean, I
Yeah,
would say a
yeah,
lot of
go
people
on.
use Lightroom, a lot of people use Photoshop, and honestly, I have to say some of those pictures look really, really good. I mean, a lot of those pictures really just blow me out of the water, you know. But that I think that's the thing that just makes, I guess you could say, my hook, or the thing that makes it unique about my photos is the fact that I don't edit them at all. And so that's kind of like putting my own little signature on it. When people look at the photo and it's like, wow, that looks amazing. And it's like, yes. And, you know, I didn't edit that at all.
Yeah, but you know, it's like I talk for my experience. For example,
Hmm.
I take some photos of a figure in the light box, and I don't know much about the camera, so
Okay.
it's sometimes, let's say, I take a good photo. I would say that is a lucky strike because I
Okay.
cannot repeat that again. And then I back to the computer, I check, I said, oh, the face is the head sculpt doesn't have enough light. So I need to go on Photoshop, do a mask around the face,
Oh, okay.
adjust the brightness a bit on the head sculpt, because it's like you said, the lighting is so important, and many people are not really educated about how to use proper lighting. They talk about the 3 points of lighting, about there's so
Right.
many aspects about these that
Right.
many people don't
You know,
know.
actually, there's a thing that I do sometimes that's similar to yours where you're lighting up the image. There's a lot of, there's a technique called light dancing. And light dancing is you're taking your photo, and let's say your photo has a 30-second exposure, which means that shutter is open for 30 seconds,
30
which means
seconds.
during that time, don't move the thing, because you'll immediately see any kind of blur effect. Well, the nice thing or the nice trick that you can use is sometimes I'll have the light from one side, and the moment I start the exposure, while that shutter is open, I'm moving the light back and forth. And by the time
Oh,
the image is done, both sides of the face are lit.
oh, that's a great tip. Eddie
Yeah.
Rodriguez asking, what's the most difficult part about photography?
Uh, Gosh, I gotta say, I would okay. i- In my area, as far as toy photography, the the difficult part is getting a figure to stay where you place them, especially when I'm outside, because the one thing I always have to battle with when I'm outside is the wind. So I set stuff up,
Okay.
and I mean that wind is blowing, and it's just all over the place, and then I have to kind of work with that. But I would say the only other thing that's really the a big challenge, which I absolutely love, is actually the lighting, because there's just so many um, aspects to your lighting, just I mean, to get it just right. And so it's always a challenge every single time. It's a good challenge because it causes you to think, but it's literally trying to get that lighting in just the right place. It's That's the most difficult part for me.
So that photo you took, the Star Wars one, that
Yes.
it's like we are in Tatooine.
Yes.
Are you using any lighting on that, or is just natural light?
That particular one, that's natural light. I didn't use any lighting at all. As a matter of fact, that was also another time where I was actually kind of using the wind in my favor, because I put the little stand behind his leg so that I knew he wouldn't fall over. And it was just early enough in the morning to where I got just slight gusts of wind to where it would blow the robe just a little bit.
Amazing.
So I got the image just when it was kind of pushing the robe away from the leg, and just snapped it. But that was part of the reason why I took it in the morning, because the later in the day, the brighter and more harsh the light is, and sometimes it can completely wash out a photo, you know, if it's and so that's why a lot of days it's overcast, and you kind of want to get good shots during that time. But the morning seems to be the best time. You get that nice golden light, and you know, it's not, you know, blaring down on you and stuff like that. So those are like the best times.
And Eddie Rodriguez saying the elements are
Oh,
ruthless. Yeah, sometimes play in
yes,
your
yes, they
favor,
are. Yes,
sometimes
they are.
against you.
Yeah. I would say during the time when it's raining outside, that's another time where I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what I can do indoors because I'm definitely not going outside, with those things. And so, as a matter of fact, another thing I'll mention is the person, Sir Dork, the guy that we interviewed for the first issue. What he does is he takes pictures of 6-inch figures, and because of that, he uses fireworks and splashes of water and all this kind of stuff going around the figures, and it looks absolutely amazing. And then he does go into Photoshop and makes a number of changes. And so I straight up told him, I said, man, I love the way you do your photos and everything, but I don't know if I can set off a firework next to a Hot Toys figure. They go up in flames.
Yeah, I see people using a lot of stuff from fireworks. They
Yes.
use those smoke effects. Those is like a machine that is giving you always smoke, like a
Yes,
kind of
actually, I
a
just
fog
started using
or
those
something like
recently.
that.
There's actually you can buy some stuff called canned smoke, and you can blow it, and it'll blur the smoke so where it looks like they're in a fog, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, indeed. There are a lot of small stuff, and Sir Dark, in this segment you will have in this first issue.
Yes.
Will he talk about the process that he go through the photos, or it will be just like showing the photos, or he will be talk about the process that he goes during his setup?
Yeah, yes, we covered quite a bit during our talk, and so yes, there will be. Um, I did ask him, questions like, how did he get started, and how long has he been taking his photos, and then when it comes to certain photos, I asked him like, what's your thinking process when it comes to particular photos, and what's the most difficult shots for you, and then we're asking him as far as like when he goes outside, like, do you scout locations, or do you have a particular spot, because those are the things that really um photographers toy photographers think about. I mean, I know that there are times when it crossed my mind when I was looking at a particular figure. If I want to go outside, I'm thinking like, okay, what is the best um, setting for this particular figure? For instance, I mean, you do have that's stuff you have to think about because, as an example, you definitely would not be heading outside during the day to take pictures of Batman. It's
Mhm.
like you have to think about, okay, what's the environment like? So those are the kind of questions that I asked him, and he gave a number of different tips on just his process as far as lighting and things he can help for other photographers.
Amazing. That's for the first issue is amazing.
Yes.
Sir Dark. You will have here also. This is already the cover, right? It's original cover that we will have the
Yes,
props on a
that
budget,
is the actual cover. Yes, for one of our issues. Yes.
casting shadows, a perspective on lighting tips, and this first edition you are thinking about releasing it in September,
Yes.
correct?
As a matter of fact,
Releasing in
I'll tell you what.
September.
I'll let me see if I can. I will go ahead and I will send you um, the other covers as well. Let's see here.
Totally four covers because you say first edition
Yes.
204, right?
Yes. There's a total of 4 covers. Um, so let's see. What I did was, like I said, as kind of like a thanks to or a nod to Juice for doing a really good figure. I do have a special cover for him for the Iron Scavenger.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 3 covers, I did a vote in our Facebook group, and I believe I had it's about 5 or 6 photos that I let everyone choose from, and so based off of the votes that came in for those particular images, those ended up being the ones for the other 3 covers. So
Let
this
me just
particular Spider-Man, this was actually the number one image that was chosen for the front cover.
and this Spider-Man was taken is by Sir Dark, this photo.
Actually, no. The all 4 of the front covers are actually my images.
Oh, they are
I'm
your
saving
images.
Sir Dork's images that we're going to place those right next to the articles. So because there's particular things that he's talking about in his in the interview, and so we're going to put those images next to those sections of the articles.
Eddie is asking what's on the screen is the actual cover, right? This is the
Yes.
actual cover of the magazine.
Yes, that is actually the actual cover. That's also the final art for our logo as well. We had a different logo for a while in the Facebook group, and then we recently changed it. We just received our new logo. I believe it was yesterday. So I immediately just jumped on it and threw it to the issue. So I gotta say, when I'm taking when I work on a lot of things, I whenever I take something serious, I jump right on it. So things kind of work pretty quick, especially if I'm really excited about it. I'll do what I can to get it out as quick as possible. Yeah, so yes, that's actually one of the other.
I'm just adding all
Yes.
here, and then we can go through them. So this one is the jazzing
Yes,
one. This
that's for the
also
special Jazz Ink cover.
this one looks really amazing. This one was taken by you, right?
Yes, and honestly, again, just what I was just mentioning about how quickly I work. So I had a particular photo that I was going to use, and when I looked at it, I showed it to another friend of mine just to kind of get some input on it, and he was like, "Well," he said, "it looks good." He said, "But it just looks a little too busy." And so I was like, "Okay." So I literally I didn't want to change the figure, so I literally took this picture this morning.
Wow, you took this picture
Yeah.
this morning.
Yes. Yeah, so I took it this morning and just cropped it. I didn't edit it at all. I already had my lights in place and everything. And so literally I took that picture today and that ended up becoming the new front cover.
Oh, but this one looks amazing.
Oh, thanks.
I haven't checked well the other ones, but I for my magazine I may choose this one.
Yeah.
Oh, this boba also. This looks really good. This again, all natural lighting, right?
Yes, that was all natural light. I actually took that photo like closer towards the end of the day. But there's like a park that's not too far from me that has a really nice lake. So I took the figure, went over there, and thankfully the wind wasn't blowing too hard, so I had it going pretty good that day.
Yeah, and it helps that this head sculpt is so good, right? I
Yes,
think having a good
yes,
figure also helps a lot. Having a good figure also helps photographers, right? If
very
you have
true.
a
Yes.
good figure, it also helps a lot. And then there's other one that is the Batman, if I'm
There was a
not wrong.
Batman, and I believe there was
No, this one. This is the
yes, yes, the
Arkham one.
Batman one. Yes.
Yeah, this one looks really good. Yeah, again, this is again all to do with lighting and
Yes,
ISO and
it's really
aperture.
I for this particular picture I used one light and shine that
One
light
light.
directly over him. I'll show you like another little tip that actually goes into a little bit about the casting shadows uh, um, article that's in the magazine. So I have a black background, but the thing is when you shine a light, um, on your subject, the light will go wherever it wants to go.
Hmm.
So what I do is I have a particular light, and then I have kind of like pieces of foam board that I use to go to cover the back end of the light. So by aiming or using that foam board, I'm able to aim the light to where it only shines on the figure and it does not shine on the backdrop. So therefore that the camera automatically makes the adjustments. So it's like if it can't see it, then it'll darken it and put all its focus on what it can see. And so therefore, since it could not see the background, it just automatically made that as dark as possible and brought all the light directly on the Batman.
And looks amazing. The light distribution looks really good
Yes.
because looks really good. This photo.
Thank
I
you.
it's still I think it's quite difficult to choose the
I know,
one
right?
cover because the four of them they are all so good.
Yeah. Thanks.
It's really difficult to choose one. This is also the Spider-Man. This is the which suit, the advanced suit, right?
Yes,
The
that
PS.
was the PS4 advanced suit. That was the Hot Tools thing. And actually, again, there's no Photoshop behind this. So literally, I uh, I found a photo uh of just like looking down at the city, and so I
Oh,
printed out that
I
photo
thought it
and
was
put it behind
Photoshop
him.
in the back.
Yes,
So it's really a photo
it's a photo. Yes.
behind. Wow, I thought it was Photoshop behind
Oh
them.
no, no. No, I literally put it's just a picture that I put behind him, and then I have some plastic like brick walls that I laid down on the floor. And so I laid him down, put him
Okay,
like he's
okay.
looking like he's crawling up that wall. And so yeah, again, I did not edit this at all. This is all just the lighting and some fake backdrops.
Now there's a lot of creativity that needs to go around this kind of photo, because I'm sure most people will never think of using a photo in the back. They will think, I can just take a photo and go to Photoshop, go to
All
Google,
right.
find a photo where you can see the building upside down, and just take it. Here, Peanut Butter Warrior is saying you definitely see a difference with more expensive figures when lighting hits the plastics.
Oh yes.
Cheaper figures sometimes have poor plastic quality, so I find the light doesn't hit the sculpt as nice. Uh,
Yes,
you
and
agree,
honestly,
right?
that's just another area where lighting plays a key role because I do have some figures where I'm just like, oh my gosh, for example, I unfortunately I don't have I don't have any Indiana Jones figures other than the sideshow one that they released several years ago,
Years ago.
and I mean, it literally looks like he has baby oil all over his his face, and so I was like, okay, well, the only thing I can do is just use the fedora to my advantage. So I shined the light over that to where you can barely see the face, which is kind of really like how they portray Indiana Jones anyway, as far as like in the shadows.
Hmm.
And so I did that, and that was the only way I can add realism to the photo without telling all of the it just looked bad. But so sometimes you could do that, but when you shine the lights in the wrong places, it could expose everything. That's another reason why I take a lot of care into the joints around the wrist. So because the moment you see a joint, you immediately it kills
Yeah,
the illusion.
kill.
Yeah, so it's like I always try and hide the joints so you can't see them, so the hand will lead straight to the wrist, or I'll basically point the arm in a certain way. So like instead of having it like this, I'll aim it to where it's like closer this way, so you can't really see the
See the
wrist, and it
joints.
kind of blocks it.
And Eddie is saying what I completely agree, and I think most of us will agree with
Oh,
this, that this is poster material. Probably Eddie, probably after the first issue of magazine, maybe Hot Toys will contact Brian. Hey, can you do some issue with us? Sure, why
yeah,
not? Send me some figures, I'll do.
I know, right? Right. Yes, I've done it a few times. I will say that I have got the attention a few times of from Sideshow. Uh, Sideshow has actually used some of my images and actually shared it on their website for some of their figures. Um, Particularly one I can think of off the top of my head is I took a couple of pictures of Kratos from the
Hmm.
Mondo Kratos
Mondo.
figure,
Mm.
and I took a couple of images from there, and they literally grabbed them and put them. So now, I think the figure's sold. Well, actually, you may still be able to see it, but if you go to the site and just go over to the bottom, you'll be able to see a couple of my images that they use there.
It's interesting because I'm sure that you also saw. Sometimes we see the photos, the blogger photos from Hot Toys,
Yes.
and it happens sometimes that the photos actually don't do justice to the figure.
Yes.
And we think, and many people will say you need to consider the photographer maybe is thinking of the figure and his creativity and his idea is different than yours. But sometimes you really can get, wow, I pre-ordered this and doesn't look as good, especially when
Right.
we go to head sculpts,
Right.
right? Because a head sculpt, you really can damage a head sculpt, and then it's like you said, when you get it in hands, you say, oh, actually this looks better in hands.
It looks better than, yes, yes,
Because
that's true.
sometimes the figure, in my opinion, sometimes they look better in natural light than with all those lighting effects that they use.
Right.
Sometimes the lighting in a head sculpt can give you a different feeling than what you have in hand. And some people would say a bad head sculpt is always a bad head sculpt,
Yeah.
or a good is always good. But I think sometimes the photos can distract you and can make you feel like the head sculpt is not as good, but when you receive it, is actually good.
Yes,
um
I have to say, out of all the figures that I have, the one that is the most challenging for me is the Doc Brown 2015
okay,
because just the facial expression
the
is
face,
just like, oh
yes.
my gosh, this is so I literally have to come up with like creative ways to use him. And that's the most difficult one. But yeah, sometimes you see stuff in natural light and it's like, oh my gosh, we need to use a lot of shadows here.
Pablo is saying that everyone is falling in love with the new Miles Morales of toys. You already took any photos with it, or you
Yes,
didn't catch it now?
I did. I gotta say, I'm a little nervous about that particular figure. Uh, it's like the way you can pose him is really good. I gotta say, just the way they did the suit and everything, it's really good how you can pose him. But the I'll say the Miles Morales figure that I have is the video game version,
Hmm.
and around the joints around the elbows, it has like this kind of shiny material that's there. And the very first time I took some pictures of him, I bent the arms, and then when I pulled it back, I could see like this crease that
The
was in it.
crease.
And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I know that if I bring it back to where it was, it'll be fine. But I know that kind of material, even though it'll go back, I've just from the experience that I've had with other figures, you keep moving those back and forth, keep taking, a bunch of pictures and posing and things like that. After a while, that crease is going to stay. So I'm just really careful with the kind of figures that I, how I pose them depending upon their outfits.
But the one we are seeing here in the cover, this Spider-Man, he also has problems with crease, because I know this one is one that normally the advanced suit, the creases, at least in mine, stay forever.
Yes.
They never cleaned up.
Yes, this particular one, the part that I don't like about the figure is when you kind of crunch him a little bit, it bunches up the suit, and then you have this big crease around the neck,
Yeah.
and it looks really bad, especially on camera, because when the light hits it, the light will hit that top part and then hit the bottom, and then you'll see through the shadow, you'll see that fold
The
of where it comes
fold.
through. So I do have to be mindful of how I pose him. However, the way the suit is, I've actually bent the arms and everything quite a bit, and I've seen the creases there, and after a while, they do go away. And so therefore, it looks it still looks good. And the interesting, it looks like the uh, the Miles Morales, that material, I believe, is kind of like the same material. The only thing is that one like gloss strip that comes like right in the arm that they make different. But other than that, though, I mean, I believe the rest of the suit is a similar material. So I'm just careful with it, So the only pictures I've taken of Miles Morales have been just kind of portraits. So which I really, really love, because it's like I have the black background and then you have the black suit. And so therefore
Yeah.
the red really shines
Nice.
in that image and everything. So it looks really, really good. I like how the black background kind of blends into the suit to where you step into the light. So it's not the lines are not really distinct. So I just love how that looks.
Yeah, everyone saying that that's a very good figure to
Yes.
post. Okay, Brian, we need to wrap up around here.
Okay.
Just some last comments from you about the magazine. We know that the first issue will be on September, and
Yes.
starting tomorrow we can pre-order the first issue.
Yes.
And tomorrow we are already tomorrow. When you pre-order, you will be able to choose the cover. The pre-order will happen by your website, or can you explain a bit more about this?
Oh yes. So so as of right now, you can go to bcarphotos.com. That's my personal site. And then there's a tab at the far right. There's a tab that says pre-order. So you'll go to that and it'll give you the information as far as where you can send your payment. Like I said, it's $15 for the pre-order, which that's the full price of the magazine. And so when you send your payment in the note, you can that's where you will put the issue cover that you want, and as well as putting in the email address that you want the issue to go to.
And
So
the magazine will
once
be
you do that,
delivered by mail,
it'll be
right?
live, and I would say shortly after.
The magazine will be delivered by mail, right?
Yes, it'll be a digital copy that'll be sent to your email.
To by email. So tomorrow, starting pre-order, first issue will go out in September. The
Yes.
pre-orders, do you have end date for pre-orders?
Uh,
A closing date?
no, I mean it'll be because it literally it's mainly for the people so we'll know how many issues that we're sending out. There will be an end date for the first issue, because then we'll start working on the second issue where people can start to that, because as of right now, until we have a better system, we're going to be doing pre-orders for the issues, and we have to give ourselves enough time to know, okay, who has pre-ordered, who selected what issue, so that we can have it ready on that day, and also who has pre-ordered the issue and submitted a photo, because we didn't have enough time to put all of those photos and map them out correctly
Mhm.
into the issue as well. So that's another reason why we need the people who submitting their photos have paid for the issue already, so we can match up the email with the person who's paid and then see their image and be able to put it into the magazine. Because like I said, as of right now, it's really just me and my wife just setting everything up right now for this. So it's just the two of us setting everything up. So we're still working on the system of how to map everyone in. So by getting the pre-orders and getting them in ahead of time, we can literally look at everything
Yeah.
and be able to get everyone their proper issues, as well as take all the photos. Because actually another thing I didn't mention was also tomorrow is going to be the first day of our photo contest. So we're having a photo contest. So the people who are submitting their pictures to go into the magazine, there'll be a separate photo submission for the contest, and we'll give the theme in the Facebook group, so people can know the theme and be able to do their image and be able to submit it in time. Which we'll give a deadline for that time as well. But again, it's same rules apply. It's like the people who the only ones that are eligible to enter to the contest are the ones who have pre-ordered the issue, and then they submit their photos, and then we'll announce the winners. But that person's image will go into the issue as well.
Amazing. So first magazine September. You
Yes.
can pre-order it in the website. Bob Dylan already left in the comments. The website is there for anyone that will catch, because I know many people catch this live stream later on, because it's for some people it's not the best time. So you can check here on the comments, and I will add in the description too. I will add in the description the website. Guys, support this magazine. This is a thing that I think all collectors will benefit a lot, and I'm sure that Brian will want to go on and on, but he needs as much support from us collectors as possible. So I think it's price-wise, I think it's quite okay for all that you get. and $15 is less one third party that you pre-order. So that's only a small deposit for a third party or any figure.
Right.
Just before we leave, there is here a question that I think you should address. They are asking, who is your audience for this magazine?
The main audience for the magazine is for it's for photographers, specifically toy photographers, but also it pretty much spans to collectors as well, because there's a lot of people who like to collect the toys, and they like to see what other people can do with the toys as far as their photography is concerned. But yeah, this is mainly to cater to people who want to know more about toy photography and just trying to get better at it. Because the whole point of the magazine is to inspire other people who are thinking about getting into the hobby, as well as offer help to those who want to just improve on their toy photography.
I mean, I think all collectors are photographers, because we have this collection, we have the collections with us. We always like to take photos, share on Facebook,
Yes.
and so on. If you can learn how to shoot better photos and share better photos, because sometimes we see photos that they really look bad, and say, can I improve this? If I can improve this, I think this magazine will serve this purpose very well, because you can improve your technique on photos.
Yes,
Sometimes,
I
like
remember.
you said, from lighting, everything.
Yes, I talked to an artist before, and man, I bought one of his toys, and so I came to him and I said, man, I said, can you, since you're the sculptor, I said, can you sign my toy? And he was like, man, he said, if I sign it, then you won't play with it. So it's like he wants. I mean, a lot of people out there, a lot of sculptors, because I'm pretty sure. I mean, we don't really hear it, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of sculptors out there that love to see what people are doing with their toys.
Obviously, that's for many of them, the collectors, the photos are the way they can get more exposure to around social media. And a bad photo can really damage their work. So it's always helpful. But yeah, thank you so much, Brian. Let me just address here, because Pablo was saying that Brian Kit batched an awesome Mace window.
Oh yes.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I did. Since they did a Mythos Obi-Wan, I did a Mythos Mace window.
Mace window.
So what I did was I took the I believe it was the Winter Soldier one, where he had the damaged eye, where you can remove the eye patch. And so I literally had it, so he had the damaged eye, and then I grabbed some hands from the Hot Toys Snake Eyes, and literally just had it till he had one damaged hand, and then had an old Sideshow Mace Windu figure. So I literally changed the body and everything, and the end result came out really, really good.
Amazing. Just to finish here, Jill John saying great interview.
Oh, thank you.
It was a big pleasure to have you here, Brian. As Man of Hot Collectibles was saying, probably will be on his show very soon, so you can catch up with Brian there probably soon, because I'm sure Man of Hot Collectibles will invite you.
Yes, actually, you know what? I went ahead and just made it live now. So if they want to do the pre-orders, they're totally able to do that now.
Okay, amazing. So pre-orders are opening now. You can go to the website bcarphotos.com. You will have all that info there. Thank you for so much, everyone, for tuning in. Again, thank you, Brian, for coming. Remember, support ToytoGraphy, a new magazine for photographers and collectors. That's all for today, and we will see you next week.